Hello everyone and welcome to this final section in the deliver phase of our C2C work together this year, and this is the section on staff relationships. So over the next few sessions we'll be looking at how we can embed relational leadership, relational practice in meetings, joining up our work with other services, balancing corporate and personal responsibility for well-being, and what does a relational exit interview look like. So let's make a start with today's question then around relational leadership. How can we continue to build self-knowledge? Obviously, this is an important part of relational leadership. How can we continue to practice empathy, even when things are tough and dark, and we don't feel like being empathetic at all? How can we continue to do that? And how can we model and coach others to be relational leaders? So I just wanted to start with yet another plug for Brené Brown. The Dare to Lead Hub has got loads of resources on there, and specifically for classrooms, obviously classrooms in the US mainly, but still relevant for us here in the UK too. And these little kinds of quizzes, I'm sure you've done Myers-Briggs tests or maybe an Enneagram kind of quiz, something like that. But building self-knowledge, there are loads of tools out there to help you understand where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. This is just an example of one of those. It's free to use. They email the results to you. So continuing to check in with yourself and where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, is a really great idea. So please let us know if you've used one of those, or perhaps you've got a different one that you can share with the group. So practicing empathy then, I love this short video. Again, you may have already seen this, but I'm just going to give you some time to watch it.
Connection, sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's interesting to reason.
Okay, so hopefully that's a nice little introduction to empathy, something that you can share with children and with staff. I think we're pretty good as teachers at being empathetic with children, but we maybe struggle with doing that with staff sometimes when we are feeling rushed and pressured ourselves. And I remember some really good feedback I was given once was, if you're feeling stressed, then trying not to pass that stress on or pass that stress down to the people that you manage. So something to really bear in mind there. And then finally, just a short paper here. It's really old. It's from '98, but it's an interesting look, an interesting take on relational leadership. And they start by saying in this book that all leadership is relational because all leadership is about relationships. But specifically, when you're thinking about building relational leadership, you are thinking about the three things here. So knowing, being, and doing. Just pause the video and have a read. But then having these 5 elements of having your purpose right at the heart of everything you do, making sure that you are inclusive, empowering other people, you are always behaving ethically in a way that kind of fits your integrity, and that process of how things happen as well as what is happening. So thinking about the how of meetings, for example, just as much as you are thinking about the content. So just a few bits of food for thought there, maybe a jumping off point for you. I'd love to hear how you have reflected on your own leadership. Is it relational? Is relational embedded, relational leadership embedded in your context? Let us know.